Hey beauties, good afternoon to you. Beautiful people, I saw a video today at a high school in, I think it's Westmoreland. I know the name of the high school, and one of the reasons in my posts why I deliberately do not call the name of the school, because I don't know if it's a respect that I have for schools. I don't want to humiliate them any further by calling the name, in terms of calling the name, so that you're when you hear it, you're just imagining everything. And I saw a video of a male teacher and a male student fighting. I thought we call them the sumo, I don't want to say sumo kamla, the sumo wrestling type of fight. When you see those Chinese men come together and they flip this one over and they flip that one over and they flip and they flip and they flip and they flip over. And the teacher was able to, so-called manhandle, as they would say, was able to maneuver and, held the youngster, he was not a child in the sense of little pickney, under gridlock. And somebody came and eased him off, and the child just got up in a rage and went back after him. And the fight continued, it ensued. And I was listening to, somebody say to me that, it's something that I saw regularly in school. I really must be from a different time zone. I know I'm not that old. I'm still fairly young. I know I'm fairly young. And there is no way in heaven or on earth, maybe in hell, which is a place I know I will never ever go, that you would ever see even a student do like this to a teacher, or vice versa. When I went to prep school, they would beat you. But when you go to high school, you're now an adolescent, a teenager, so they don't beat you. So they punish you by whether giving you a conduct mark or detention, or if it gets really bad, you can be suspended, or if it's really, really bad, they no longer require your services, or maybe they offering their services to you, so they expel you. Those are the things that I know will happen. Or they will tell you, all right, your detention is that you have to clean this window, clean the classroom, whatever it is, some sort of thing, whatever it, I remember in high school, I think they brought back writing like 100 times something, I am not a whatever, them little ways there to kind of teach you to take accountability for your actions as well as discipline. So they had to find ways of pooling accountability and discipline in one, so that you can become rehabilitated and be the student that you ought to be, without remaining rogue or going rogue. And notwithstanding, you do have rogue teachers who have gone wacky, wild, and bad. There is an infection, so to speak, and just using that word infection in them socially, and how they relate in terms of their character. Their character has a sort of infection. It's like it is HIV infected, or gonorrhea infected, so to speak. Now, beautiful people, if we don't take things seriously, our country is not just going to fail, but we're going to face the wrath of God. And people think we're just saying this as a cliche. We're not just saying this as a cliche, because respect overall, whether the teacher is respecting the students or the students respecting the teacher, and even more, additionally, the administration has completely been eradicated. Anything goes now. So we almost have to be walking with so-called, when I say weapons, please don't misunderstand. I'm not telling people to go out and just get weapons. And just in case anybody comes at us, we have to now defend ourselves, because this is where it seemed to be going. Almost like we're militant, and we have to all be ready for war at any moment in time. It might as well we all just go to Iraq, Russia, and these places where all of this mayhem is happening. May as well. Because with what I'm seeing happening in Jamaica, it's almost no different. Look at last week. I had done a video of a little girl who said she was bullied, abused physically by 4 boys, knowing that their physical strength supersedes hers by leaps and bounds. Even if her mouth ran away from her for a moment, it didn't warrant them to be abusing the girl, knowing that they would damage her. And she, exclaimed that she did nothing to them. She probably could have just said that, because we all feel that, people have to be provoked. Not necessarily. Because you see, people that you see, adults that you see who have gone rogue, please note that many times they being the bullies, people don't trouble them. In fact, the nicer you are, the more they come at you. The sweeter you are, the more they're like sour to you. Sour oranges, sour grapes, spoiled grapes. So you don't think that they practice that from their teenage years or younger years. Yes, please. You don't have to do people anything for them to come at you, to attack you. Like a raging, roaring, hungry lion. We couldn't dare think of fighting a teacher. Even if that teacher has gone rogue, we just report them to the administration. Simple. And then they deal with the teacher accordingly. We couldn't dare, and notwithstanding, I'm not saying that teachers have the right to abuse their child. But the problem that I'm having with students and the school administration is that they don't put measures in place so that if the student is wronged, that the student does not fight fire with fire. You leave it to the bigger guns. You leave it to the bigger heads to deal with the teachers. If it is a case like that. But no, what happens is that secretly, maybe the parent or the guardian or whomever is saying, if the teacher box you, box them back and give them all 2 more bucks. Tell them, say you are the original gold teeth, front teeth, Dan Gag, and in the school, and me a bad girl and me a bad boy, you can't do nothing. Any which way, if you ever try any little thing, me and you. And me call my gunman friend, my gunman auntie, my gunman uncle, my gunman granny, my gunman great granny after you. And so we are going to deal with things. Reprisal, we say. Them now ask Christ. And that is one of the major problems, because they choose not to ask him, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, as to how to really deal with situations, that continue, that are incessant, and there seems to be no end. And then we talk about what are the measures that we can put in place to have the desired outcome of students basically being orderly, following the rules, and we have neither students nor teachers going rogue. You took prayers out of the schools. You took basically discipline out of the schools. I'm not saying that a teacher should physically beat a teenager, especially in high school. Prep school, you probably can't do that. Beating is good. Do not spare the rod and spoil the child. You beat them right on the buttocks. You beat them where they cannot be abused, and you don't beat in extreme anger. But beating is good. You understand? More often than not, when you get the right beating on the right part of your body, and you show the child that I'm going to hold you accountable, and what I say I will do, chances are that child is going to become a swan. But if you do the reverse and abuse them, or you don't hold them accountable and do not discipline them, chances are they will go rogue. They will become monsters in the society. And then you yourselves cannot manage them. And then you want to throw them on us law-abiding people who are trying to make it in a life. Since a one life we have to live, and we now have 9 lives like the cat, who supposedly have 9 lives. Which they don't, obviously. Some of your parents, some of you as parents, I don't know what words to say. I don't want to say it because I don't want to pronounce those things. When they have a saying, when you don't have any good to say, don't say it at all. Some of you are a disgrace to parenting. You should never have been allowed to be parents. And one of the things with the mind, as you get older, when you become very old, all of what you have done is going to come back to you and blow your mind, not in a good way. So those are the monsters you are sending in schools. Beat teachers, beat students. Fighting. I mean, proper. I saw the video. It is a shame and disgrace what is happening in this country. But it's a replica of what is happening in a lot of workplaces in a different way, in politics in a different way. It may not be physical like that. But it is social, it is financial, it is verbal, it is mental, psychological. May God help us. Guys, follow me on TikTok. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and share this message, please.